A soft wind whispered through the trees as Olivia stood on the cliff's edge, her toes grazing the rocks beneath. She could hear the distant crash of waves far below, the vast ocean stretching endlessly in front of her. The setting sun bathed everything in hues of gold and pink, painting a scene of serenity. But inside, Olivia felt anything but peaceful. For months, Olivia had been struggling with an invisible enemy, a constant, suffocating fear. It haunts her from childhood. It wasn't tied to any particular event, but it gnawed at her daily, pulling her into a spiral of anxiety. There were no words to describe it clearly, no monster she could point to and say, "That's what I'm afraid of." The fear itself was the monster. Her best friend, Lily, had tried to understand, but how could she explain the unexplainable? "It's just fear," Olivia would say. "Fear of everything and nothing." Lily had nodded, listening, but Olivia knew the weight of it was hers alone to carry. Now, standing on the edge of this cliff, Olivia thought of Franklin D. Roosevelt's words, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." It was a phrase she had read 100 times, but she never truly understood what it meant until now. She had reached the cliff after a long hike, one she wasn't sure she could finish. The steep, narrow path was daunting, but it was something she needed to face. In her mind, the cliff was symbolic. It was the boundary between her and the fear that had trapped her for so long. Olivia's heartbeat quickened as she stood there, fear swelling up again like a wave. Her palms were sweaty, her breath shallow. What if she lost her balance? What if the ground gave way beneath her feet? The thoughts came unbidden, and her body reacted as if these fears were already happening. But then, a small voice inside her spoke, "Be strong and face it. You can do it." It was her own voice, though it felt distant, as though speaking from some place deep within her. "You're not afraid of the cliff," it said. "You're afraid of feeling this fear?" Olivia's eyes widened, the truth sinking in. She wasn't really scared of falling or heights. The fear was rooted in her mind, a fear of fear itself. She had been fighting against this feeling for so long, trying to avoid it, run from it, numb it. But here, now, at the edge of this precipice, she realized that the fear had no power beyond what she gave it. It existed only because she let it grow. Taking a deep breath, she stepped back from the edge. The world hadn't changed, but something inside her had shifted. The fear was still there, but now it felt like something she could observe rather than be consumed by. From there, she came back as a fighter, not a loser. She may not have conquered the fear, but now she has the power to fight back. That's all that matters to her. The sun continued to set, casting longer shadows, and Olivia sat down on the cool ground, her legs dangling off the edge. She didn't need to conquer the cliff. She needed to accept the fear for what it was. Just a feeling, not a prophecy, not a threat, just a wave that came and went. For the next hour she stayed there, breathing, feeling the wind, watching the ocean move beneath her. The fear still rose inside her at times, but each time it did, she acknowledged it, accepted it, and let it pass. She was no longer fighting it. Instead, she had made peace with it. By the time she made her way back down the path, the stars were beginning to dot the sky. Lily waited at the base of the trail, worry in her eyes. "Are you okay?" Lily asked. Olivia smiled, genuinely, for the first time in a long while. "I think I am." And for the first time, Olivia understood that the fear had been a part of her life for so long, not because it was invincible, but because she believed it was. She had feared fear itself, and in doing so, she had allowed it to rule her. But not anymore. As they walked back together, the stars guiding their way, Olivia knew that fear would return. It was part of being human. But now, she was ready. Because the only thing she had ever feared was the fear itself, and she was no longer afraid to feel it. Thanks for watching our video. Do subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.